Welcome everybody to the Cricket Happening Show today with your host Ram. And this Cricket Happening Show, well, there was a wonderful match which happened, and this was in the Big Bash League finals of 2015 as Perth Scorchers defended their title. So they are the champions. Perth Scorchers were the champions. They are champions of the Big Bash League 2015 as they went on to defeat the Sydney Sixers in the last ball of the finals. What a match it was. Brett Lee was absolutely breathing fire. What a performance, in the sense Brett Lee was actually playing his last match in front of this huge crowd here, and Brett Lee had took 2 wickets. He took 2 consecutive wickets. The stage was set. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you down to the wire. The situation is like this. I'll just give you a brief as to what happened. Well, Perth Scorchers, the Sydney Sixers were the ones who actually batted first in the finals of the Big Bash League 2015, and they put on 147 for 5 of 20 overs. Then Perth Scorchers were given a target of 148 runs to win from 20 overs. And as I said, just to give you a brief, and this is what the scene is. Now I'm going to enact you this last over, which was filled with intense excitement here at the stadium. It was played at the Manuka Oval in Canberra, and what a match we had. It was an absolutely worthy final, and once I talk about this, I will also be talking about a match which was the tour of the West Indian tour of South Africa finally ended with West Indies losing the final match and thus South Africa winning the series in a big manner. And also today we have a match which is starting, probably we are looking at around 1.5 hours from now, that New Zealand and Sri Lanka would be clashing in the final one-day international at Wellington. So I'm going to touch upon all this, so it is going to be a bit brief, because I believe that in my Cricket Happening Show I always like to get on to the excitement first. Excitement is something which is absolutely needed as far as cricket is concerned. And well, dear fans, friends, subscribers, I'm going to pull you all to that excitement that happened at the Manuka Oval in Canberra. As I've already given you update, so now I'm going to enact you the last over and how actually Perth Scorchers went on to defend their Big Bash League title. Well, the situation was set like this. 19 overs were gone. Perth Scorchers 144 at that stage. They required another 9 runs required from the final 6 balls of the final. And look at who was bowling. It was Brett Lee with the ball. And Brett Lee, as you know, what a wonder. In fact, it was a very significant moment for Brett Lee. The reason being that it was his swan song as far as all international cricket is concerned, because this was the last over that Brett Lee was bowling in front of the Australian fans, as he has decided that after this Big Bash League he is retiring from all cricket. And look at what happened. Moises Henriques entrusted the responsibility to Brett Lee of bowling the final over of the Sydney Sixers captain Moises Henriques. And Perth Scorchers, as I said, the score was 140 for 4. 8 runs were required of the last 6 balls. And here goes the cricket commentary. Brett Lee was the bowler, Carberry was on strike, and all eyes were on Carberry and to see what Lee is going to conjure now. As Lee comes in and bowls to Carberry, well, Carberry moves across and has really got it over the short fine leg boundary for a fine leg boundary, and that's a 4. So the first ball has been dismissed for a 4 by Carberry, and that is a great start to the over, one could say. And Brett Lee, I'm sure, is not happy with it. Let's see what happens with the second delivery. Brett Lee steaming in, passes umpire, bowls to Carberry. Carberry drives to the offside. It is going past point. He's going to go for the second run. Yes, he gets the second run, and now it looks like Perth Scorchers are trying to definitely win this game, because now it's 6 runs got. So 8 runs were required, as you know, 8 runs were required of the last 6 balls, and already 6 runs have been taken off 2 balls, and this is going to be, I think it's going to be a real task for Brett Lee now to stop Perth Scorchers. Let's see what happens with the third delivery. In comes Brett Lee, bowls to Carberry. Carberry this time tickles it down to short fine leg and goes across for a single. So 7 runs coming of the 3 balls that has been bowled of the final over of this Big Bash League. There are only 3 more deliveries left. What a significant moment it is going to be. 3 balls left in the final over of the Big Bash League Finals 2015. Brett Lee is going to bowl the last 3 balls, hopefully, as far as his entire cricket career is concerned, and the person on strike would be Nathan Coulter-Nile, because Carberry has crossed across for a single. Let's see what happens. Brett Lee, preparing himself, comes in, passes umpire, bowls to Coulter-Nile. Coulter-Nile gets a full and straight delivery, and well, he has tried to scoop the delivery, and look at what happened. His stumps have been uprooted. Well, there is a celebration. Brett Lee pumping his fist there. He has dismissed Nathan Coulter-Nile. The 4th delivery has got a wicket for Brett Lee, and now let's see what happens. It's really getting absolutely exciting. Now the equation was 1 run required from 3 balls. Now the equation is 1 run from 2 balls. The scores are level, just 1 run to get. So are we going to see a super over? That's going to be pretty interesting to see whether there's going to be a super over. Because as you know, 147 was the score that Sydney Sixers posted. So the score right now is 147. So 2 balls left, as Sam Whiteman is just walking in to join Carberry. So Sam Whiteman settles down on his wicket. He gardens the pitch, settles down. He waits for Lee to go back on the top of his bowling lineup. Lee now comes in, bowls to Sam Whiteman, and Sam Whiteman, what he has done is he has tried to give room for himself to drive this ball through the covers, but well, he has missed it and the stumps are gone. So there's 2 wickets and 2 balls. Brett Lee is on a hat-trick, and what a significant moment that would be if Brett Lee could actually knock off the final batsman who will be coming. It's Yasir Arafat. And well, let me tell you, Brett Lee is on fire here. He's conceded 7 runs in the first 3 balls to Carberry when 8 runs were required. The scores are level. Are we going to see a super over, or what are you going to see? Nathan Coulter-Nile's stumps has been disturbed, and in the very next delivery, he has scabbed Sam Whiteman. The very first delivery that Sam Whiteman faced, it's all over as his length ball in the middle and off stump, and his stumps have disappeared. Lee is on a hat-trick. Lee is going to be bowling the final ball of his international career, a glittering international career, and well, it is going to be interesting. Yasir Arafat is walking in. Carberry is still at the non-strikers end, and well, one does not know what is in store. Is Lee going to really get the furniture out of Yasir Arafat and make it a super over? What an interesting situation. Moises Enriquez. Now the field is there's only 1 run to go. Yasir Arafat is going to be the batsman. They have 3 people in the short cover region. In fact, they have a short cover. They have a silly mid-on, and he's crowding the batsman just to put the pressure. Brett Lee is the bowler. Can Brett Lee take a hat-trick today and win this, in fact, take it into a super over? Interesting. The final ball of the Big Bash League 2015 coming up. It's Sydney Sixers. Well, they need a wicket to get into the super over. Well, as far as the Perth Scorchers are concerned, they need a single to actually win this match. And what a lovely situation. Brett Lee bowling his last delivery in international cricket. And if he takes a hat-trick, well, that would be an icing on the cake. Let's see what happens. Brett Lee is preparing himself to bowl to Yasir Arafat. In comes Brett Lee, running in, passes umpire, hurls the ball to Yasir Arafat. It's a full and straight delivery. Arafat has flicked the ball. It's going past mid-wicket. The batsman, even though the ball is going to the fielder, Yasir Arafat is herring across for a single. Moises Enriquez, the captain, has gone and stood at the non-strikers end. The ball is coming on the bounce. Enriquez takes it, but well, it's all over. Yasir Arafat has made it, and Yasir Arafat has taken Perth Scorchers to victory. What a final delivery, and what a swan song for Brett Lee as he leaves international cricket for the international cricket forever now, and the career of Brett Lee comes to an end. But one would have probably thought that Brett Lee could take a hat-trick, but no, it was not possible. This was the final ball of the Big Bash League 2015, and what an electric ending we are having here, as Yasir Arafat has seen to it that Perth Scorchers would defend their Big Bash League title, as Perth Scorchers win the match by 4 wickets of the last ball of this particular tournament, and the Big Bash League has ended with Perth Scorchers crowned champions. So the Perth Scorchers won the match by 4 wickets, and it was the player of the match. I'll come back to that. Now I'm going to talk to you about the brief scores here. So that is as far as the Perth Scorchers were concerned. What a match we had here. It was an absolute thriller, and as I said, it's a worthy final. Brett Lee into the mix. It could have been a super over. It could have been Brett Lee taking a hat-trick, but finally Yasir Arafat finally saw to it that he stole a single and finally got Perth Scorchers home. What a relief for Perth Scorchers, but a real worthy final. Well, so let's just briefly look at this Perth Scorchers innings. Perth Scorchers were the ones who actually batted second. In fact, Sydney Sixers were the ones who batted first. They really struggled. They didn't have anything going with them, and Sydney Sixers really struggled, and they put 147 for 5. It was all thanks in the main to Moises Enriquez, who clubbed 77 runs of 57 balls with 5 fours and 2 sixes, and the company that he got from Ryan Carter's was pretty good, as Ryan Carter's contributed an unbeaten 25 balls with 4 fours, but Sydney Sixers did not get, the top order was absolutely shaved off, as Lum was out to Coulter-Nile for 3, Ricky Wessels was out for 2, Marinson was bowled with Yasir Arafat for 19, and Jordan Silk was sent to the pavilion for 3. So basically, I thought Perth Scorchers did well to get to a score of 147 for 5 of their 20 overs. Benda 4 overs, no maiden, 1 for 19. Coulter-Nile 1 for 32. Ty none for 37. Yasir Arafat 1 for 37. And Brad Hogg bowled 4 overs, 1 for 25. As far as Perth Scorchers were concerned, they really started off in right earnest, as the openers put on a very good partnership between Sean Marsh and Michael Klinger, as both of them added 70 runs for the first wicket before Klinger as Brett Lee was the one who gave them the breakthrough, as Klinger was out for 33 of 37 balls with 4 fours, and then Sean Marsh contributing a very good 73 of 59 balls with 3 fours and 3 sixes, and Adam Vokes contributing 20 of 13 balls, and then all the excitement started as the pressure started building in, and finally Michael Carberry did a good job to be on an unbeaten 9 of 7 balls with 1 4, but well, as I said, Brett Lee was a sensational over, but in the end it was Perth Scorchers who won the match at 148 for 6. The bowling, Brett Lee, as I said, bowled his last over in international cricket, 4 overs, no maiden. We will never see a Brett Lee bowling in any form of the tournament now. He has retired from everything. He's retired from test matches, one-day internationals and T20s, and now he won't be playing any cricket. So that's the end of Brett Lee's career. 4 overs, no maiden, 25 runs and 3 wickets. Sean Abbott 3 overs for 26. Nathan Lyon 4 overs, 2 for 34. That was also one more good thing that Moises Enriquez did in this match. It's a pertinent factor, is that the penultimate over, that is the 19th over, was given to Nathan Lyon, and Nathan Lyon responded by getting a very important wicket of Sean Marsh, who was absolutely well settled. So that was another turning point, one could say, because if Sean Marsh would have been there, I don't think Perth Scorchers would have found it as difficult as they found it out to be. But anyways, so the match is gone. Nathan Lyon 4 overs, 2 for 34. Bollinger 3 overs, 1 for 27. Steve O'Keefe 2 overs, no maiden, none for 13. Moises Enriquez bowled 4 overs for 21. Perth Scorchers winning the Big Bash League 2015, and congratulations to Perth Scorchers. Sean Marsh of Perth Scorchers was named man of the match. The player of the series going to Jack Scalise for some splendid performances in this Big Bash League tournament. Well, so that's that brings the curtain down as far as the Big Bash League tournament in Australia is concerned. Now, I'm going to head off very quickly and in a very brief manner, I would say. We are talking about the last match of the West Indies tour of South Africa, which was mere formality, but it was only interesting to see because West Indies actually won that match in a very nice manner. Probably they could put up some fight, but well, South Africa, let me tell you, they ran a score of 306. There was no AB de Villiers today, but they still ran a score of 361 for 5, and the feature being it was Quinton de Kock who came into the, it was Hashim Amla who made 133 runs of 105 balls with 11 fours and 6 sixes. And what was very interesting to see was Hashim Amla normally, he plays some graceful strokes. Well, he did play some graceful strokes, but what was something which really surprised everybody was that he was willing to play it very aggressively. We saw some very good lofted strokes from Hashim Amla. He went after Sheldon Cottrell, the left armour, and also Darren Sam, and deposited them for 3 sixes between them. And then he also hit a 6 of the bowling of Andre Russell, where he actually reached for that ball and the ball sailed into the stands. So suddenly we saw some real raw power coming in from Hashim Amla, coupled with his timing. So, but Hashim Amla really stood out. 130. The partnership between Hashim Amla and Really Rousseau was a very big partnership. They were 59 for 2 at one stage after 10 overs, and the score was taken to 306 with this wonderful partnership that happened. And it was a record because it added 247 runs for the 3rd wicket, with Really Rousseau reeling off his 2nd one-day international century. And as far as Really Rousseau was concerned, well, he started off in a sedate manner, but as far as his knock was concerned, he made 132 runs from 98 balls with 9 fours and 8 sixes. And let me tell you, Really Rousseau was growing in confidence with each stroke that he played. Some of his straight drives were absolutely spanked with lots of timing. And another thing that he did well was his pull strokes were really good as he hit the short balls for sixes, and Really Rousseau and Hashim Amla were the ones who engaged in a partnership of 247 runs to take the South African score to a score of 361 for 5 of their 42 overs. In fact, only 42 overs because of rain. 42 overs were played. David Miller contributing a quick 23 of 9 deliveries with 2 fours and 2 sixes. Dumini unbeaten on 18 of 7 balls with 3 fours and 1 six, and Behadi not out on 5. And looking at the West Indian bowling card here, does not make it doesn't make any impressive reading. Sean Cottrell was absolutely taken to the cleaners. He was really carted by Amla and Rousseau. 7 overs no maiden, none for 68. Jason Holder came in for some severe tap. 9 overs no maiden, 2 for 77. Brathwaite 9 overs for 46. Andre Russell was another one who really received. In fact, he was the one who leaked the maximum number of runs. 8 overs cost him 85 runs and 3 wickets. Darren Sammy 7 overs for 59, and Nasing Dinorayan 2 overs none for 19. As far as West Indies were concerned, they were chasing 362 runs to actually win the match, and well, they were all out for 230. Well, they didn't have a good start. They started off in a very miserable manner as the very first delivery that Kyle Abbott hurled at Gale netted a wicket. The first ball of the West Indies innings, Chris Gale was gone as he was caught behind by Quinton de Kock for naught. And after that, there were contributions from Nasing Denorayan, 43 of 50 deliveries, 5 fours and 1 6. Dwayne Smith making 31 today, coming in as 1 drop today. Dwayne Smith making 31 of 28 balls with 3 fours and 1 6. Marlon Samuels hitting a hard 50 of 47 balls with 1 4 and 4 sixes. 40 coming in from Dinesh Ramadan of 40 deliveries, 1 4 and 2 sixes. 24 from Russell of 12 balls with 4 fours and 1 6. And Sammy contributing 27 of 25 balls with 5 fours. But the problem for them was that nobody was able to go and play a long innings, and that resulted in West Indies getting all out for 230. Match over. South Africa winning the 5-match series 4-1, thus ending the West Indies tour of South Africa. And looking at the bowling as far as the South Africans were concerned, Kyle Abbott 7 overs 2 for 59. Martin de Longe 8 overs 1 for 34 was a picture of economy. Wayne Parnell was the most successful bowler, 9 overs no maiden, 42 runs and 4 wickets. Fungiso 8 overs 1 for 53. Behardine 5.4 overs no maiden, 1 for 40 was costly. South Africa winning the 5-match series. Hashim Amla, who went on to a record aggregate of runs in a bilateral series between both the teams, took away the player of the series, and Really Rousseau for reeling off his 2nd century in one-day internationals took the man of the match, and thus ended the West Indies tour of South Africa. Well, now from here, as I said, probably we are looking at another. Now there is another tour which is going to end, and that is between New Zealand and Sri Lanka, as today is going to be the 7th one-day international which is going to be played at Wellington Stadium. As you know, New Zealand are absolutely on the ascendant. They have already won the series. It's only a matter of pride for New Zealand to really go and get another win, or probably Sri Lanka can try to see whether they can really battle hard here. Well, for New Zealand, well, as I said, they are doing pretty well. The pieces are coming together, especially considering that the World Cup is coming up. I have a strong feeling now, after seeing their performance, that New Zealand, I have a feeling that they might be they might be a team to reckon with this time in World Cup 2018. The reason that I'm saying that, based on their performances, and also seeing that they have been breathing fire in all the departments, and especially they're also the hosts of the World Cup 2015. So I think New Zealand are looking pretty good here, and really won't be surprised New Zealand would be giving a lot of headaches to the opposition for sure. So let's look at the New Zealand team. New Zealand, as I said, they are doing very well. Martin Guptill is a bit struggling. Other than Martin Guptill, who has been struggling, I think Brendan McCullum also probably. But again, New Zealand, one thing that they really need to do at Wellington in the final one-day international, according to me, is they need to get a good start. Now that is something which has been lacking. If they can get the good starts, what we have been seeing, that the chips have been down and the middle order and the lower order have been coming to the rescue and taking them out of jail. But now what we need from New Zealand is to see whether the opening combination of Martin Guptill and Brendan McCullum can go on to get some good runs, lay a foundation. And New Zealand, even though the good thing about New Zealand, what I would say, which shows their real greatness, is that even though they are not getting a good opening start, they are still amassing scores of in excess of 300. So that really shows that this team is a real force to reckon with in the World Cup 2015. Tom Latham, and then they have Kane Williamson, who has been in form. He's already had 2 centuries. I mean, he has come to close to a century. Ross Taylor has got 97 under his belt. Grant Elliott has reeled off a century. Luke Ronchi and Grant Elliott put on the record 6th wicket partnership, which they broke all the existing records in the history of one-day internationals, and they put up that grandstand, I would say. Corey Anderson, you always know he's a very, very dangerous customer with the bat. Then they have Nathan McCullum. Daniel Vettori has been bowling well with all his experience. Kyle Mills got a look in now, and Mitchell McClenaghan, who is always I always have a feeling that he's a very good one-day specialist bowler. As far as Sri Lanka are concerned, they have a lot of things to look at. They don't have Rangana Herath today, who was flown back to Sri Lanka because of some problems. As far as Sri Lanka are concerned, well, it would be interesting to see whether Angelo Matthews will be playing today, because he has been missing so far, and I thought he plays a very important part in the Sri Lankan scheme of things. Laido Thirimane, as I said, Laido Thirimane, it's really due that Laido Thirimane goes on to, even though he's the acting captain in absence of Angelo Matthews, one would love to see Laido Thirimane get amongst some runs pretty quickly. Dilshan, Sangakkara, Jayawardene, well, they're all in form. Dimuth Karunaratne, Dinesh Chandimal, I would say that Dinesh Chandimal needs to get into some form pretty quickly. And Thisara Pereira, let me say, he has been a real disappointment with the bat, because Thisara Pereira is a genuine all-rounder, and if this is something that Sri Lanka would be looking for, one only hopes that Thisara Pereira can really bring his big strokes today in this game against New Zealand to really show what he's capable of, because he doesn't have a good batting record against New Zealand in this series, and it is high time that Thisara Pereira really tees off today. And then they have those pinch hitters, and the all-rounders, bits and pieces all-rounders like Nuwan Kulashekara. And well, as far as the bowling is concerned, it would be in the hands of Suranga Lakmal, Damika Prasad, or whether Dushmanta Chamira might take his place. He's also a young, quick bowler. It will be interesting to see whether he gets an opportunity, and then they have the spin of Sachitra Sen and Aike. Well, the match is going to be played at Wellington, which is going to be bringing an end to the New Zealand tour of Sri Lanka. They say that the weather is going to be a bit cloudy, so well, it would be interesting to see whichever team wins the toss would probably insert the opposition in. Well, dear fans and subscribers, I think I've waxed eloquent on a lot of things. As I said, I hope you all enjoyed my exciting cricket commentary on the Big Bash League Finals 2015 and also the other coverage. Well, once again, I'll be back tomorrow to talk to you about this game between New Zealand and Sri Lanka as usual. Until then, it's good night from your host Ram Studios. Thank you.